This week, we're back with Nick B on the One Star Recruits. We're going to hacky sack this intro around. It's the one and only DK. We're doing interviewing 5-star people, but we just have 5-star celebrities like Nick B coming back for reoccurring episodes. I'm going to hacky sack it to you, Rip.
Yeah, this week we got a man who rinses the dishes before he puts them in the dishwasher, a guy who changes hairstyles every 6 months, and a guy who has an extremely low rating on the Turo app. We're the one-star recruits. We're learning. We're loving. We're getting better every day by bringing you 5 stars every week. Welcome back, Nick B. No guest again this week, but we got the best insurance salesman in the state of Arizona, Nick B, DK, and myself, Rip. Let's go, fellas.
All right.
Nick B, word on the streets as you got back in the Turo game. We had you on a couple months ago, and it was a very disappointing 1-star story about a Turo conversation in which multiple follow-ups, I believe you led, probably unnecessary, probably what Rip and I thought would lead to a very low Turo rating. Turns out I get a picture. You're in Orange County, a very wealthy businessman, and you're in a new Turo. So Rip and I want to know what's up. We thought you had a shitty tour rating after you left a lot of popcorn in that whip in Hawaii.
It wasn't popcorn. It was sand, which, again, we're in Hawaii. So who complains about sand in Hawaii? So, yeah, on that guy, he left me 4 stars out of 5. I'm not really actually that disappointed in it. But, yeah, to give you an update, I'm at now 4.5 stars because my man Justin, who has the nicest Kia Forte that you can rent out of the Long Beach airport. This thing is souped up. It's GT. He's got carbon fiber everywhere. He's got sound system. There's even the little button that you like flip up to hit the start button. Like there's a little cover on it, dude. I mean, it was the nicest car, and it was the cheapest too. That's the weirdest thing. I was booking the one that's like, I only needed a ride to get to and from, and it was cheapest. And and it was way nicer than advertised. So I'm actually on the pod if it's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and just read to you.
You need to get us a Turo. You're into it. You're an early Turo user, and you're also a what do you call it, Rip? He's an evangelicus of the Turo brand, and he's engaged. He's not afraid to really discuss the ins and outs when he's getting the car rental. What do you think, Rip? You a Turo guy? You still enterprising?
I haven't even heard of the Turo app until Nick B's first appearance on this pod. And so this is your second. This is your second Turo rental. So you got a 4 and a 5. So you had a 4.5. Is that correct?
That is 100% correct. And the review says from Justin on October 25th says, Nick took great care of my car. He returned it on a full tank and was very complimentary of the car. Would highly recommend him to other hosts.
Let's go, Turo King. Rip, it's really big in Hawaii. I think it's just starting to come on the mainland. So Nick's an early adopter, man. Congratulations, Nick B. Sounds like a lovely trip. You sent me a very nice photo of that Kia Sorento in Forte in the Crack Shack at the Crack Shack down in Costa Mesa, man. How was that? Pretty good spot, huh?
Oh, it's fantastic, man. That Firebird over there at Crack Shack is the best chicken sandwich I've ever had.
Oh, the best ever. Respect. I think it's very good there, too. They do fried chicken giblets, folks, if you want to get crazy there and go try some new foods. Very 1-star of you, Nick B, traveling the world this week, and you land in Rip's backyard, basically.
I got a little beef, Nick B, because, look, I don't know how well you know Southern California. You've been out here plenty of times, but you just told the listeners you landed at Long Beach Airport, which is like 1.5 miles from my house.
Oh, damn.
You're like 10 minutes from my house. Then you go down to Costa Mesa, which is like, 20 minutes from my house. And then you didn't hit me up until you were in a city called Norco, which is like basically halfway back to Arizona. You're like, come out to the soccer game tomorrow. And it's all good, man. But you probably don't know, man. But I'm like 2 miles from the Long Beach
1-star invite for Nick B, man.
You Californians, bro, halfway to Arizona, dude, it was 45 minutes, dude. It was a short little cruise. But you're right, Rip. I should have hit you up in advance. I should have been more prepared. I'm working on my planning skills. I'm really poor at it. I'm working on my planning, my communication. I'm working on it really hard today. Actually, my wife has got me just really working on my communication today. So, but yeah, dude, I apologize. But here's the good news. I'm going to be back there so often. 2 weeks. She has another 2 games in Norco. Probably be driving over. This is the first time I flew. But.
Yeah, that's right. It's the soccer routine. You're doing very good dad work, Nick B. For the listeners, since you were on last week, we might as well keep them updated with, and Rip, move me away from Nick B any second. But I think you fueled up the private jet from Apache Junction Airport and flew out to Missoula, Montana for a business meeting this week, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Bro, you're so off, man. It's hilarious though, because you're like you're not only like just a tiny bit off, you're like way off, bro. Apache Junction doesn't even have an airport. So Sky Harbor, one of the largest airports in the US, correct. So I did have a very eventful week, bro. I got to, and yeah, please, Rip, cut me off if I'm talking.
We recorded the pod, Nick B, and I said, okay, later. And then next thing you know, you hit me up and you're cruising it out of Bozeman, Montana somewhere. How does this even happen?
Well, so it's kind of a last minute thing. I have a friend in Montana who owns a dispensary, and he kind of got the opportunity to put in for an early license in New York, which is a big deal. So I kind of felt obligated to go check out his situation, help him out. He was my first cannabis client, so he's always gonna have a special place in my heart. So yeah, so I kind of last minute just grabbed a flight to Kalispell, Montana, got to spend a couple days. His dispensary has been way upgraded since the first time I'd been there, and it's looking really nice. And then yeah, I was able to parlay the trip into going straight to Long Beach. So what was one of the best parts about the trip was I flew into Kalispell, Montana, and then so basically it was cheapest to do one-way flights everywhere, which I thought was kind of surprising. So
that's a travel hack, actually. That's a travel hack I would recommend a lot more people. Rip, you think the one-way trips versus the round trips, and then kind of figure it out, play with it from a value standpoint, or is that stupid logic?
I mean, Nick B says he's working on his planning, but that sounds pretty 5-star to
I
me.
know. I was gonna say, Nick B.
Tempe to Kalispell.
You can't go to Del Taco with Rip in Long Beach, but you could plan to go to Calistoga, Montana. I never even heard of that place.
Well, yeah. So yeah, we won't need to go on much more about this, but here's a scenario. My wife is extremely great at planning. Like she's got everything planned out always, and I try to live sporadic. So we have this little bit of a, it's better for me to get away on my own to do these types of things because she likes to have everything sort of lined up. I like to go hotels tonight. I like to get to a city, not even know where I'm staying, that type of stuff.
Yeah, you drive people crazy. Nick B. The one biggest 1-star moment, we do 1-star moments of the week here, as you know, every podcast. You're driving through Montana. I can imagine you probably in a truck, probably driving down. What's a 1-star moment that you had up there in Billings, Montana?
So I didn't go to Billings, but another swing and miss, dude. I love it. Keep getting that bat off your shoulders, DK. This is great.
This is from a guy who was born in Montana.
Montana, born and raised Paradise Valley. I give you shit. I know. And one of our great listeners, Matt Saporito, is right there in Bozeman. Did you see Matt in Bozeman? Nick
I did not. I appreciate you sending that connect.
1-star recruit business development with not only the host of this podcast, with probably our top 3 listener, Matt Saporito.
Matt, I know you're listening, and I apologize, dude. Last time I called you when I was like arriving into Bozeman and flying out like 20 minutes later. This time I gauged to have like 2 hours to kill at Bozeman, but I ended up spending a lot more time in some little town. Like it was a steakhouse and like the midway between Kalispell and Bozeman that I stopped at. I ended up hanging out there for like an hour and a half, so it cut into my time. When I got into Bozeman, I just went straight to the airport. So Matt, dude, my apologies. But to give you a quick plug, he has some of the best leather goods.
He does have good leather. You give some Montana leathers. Did you have any 1-star moments on your trip to Montana, or was it a clean wipe? Did you have a clean wipe?
Surprising. I'm sure there were some 1-star moments.
I'll let you think about it. Rip, you got any 1-star moments down in the LB that Nick just really avoided? He got the fuck out of there, apparently. Any 1-star moments in Long Beach for you?
Yeah, actually, I mean, the reason that I didn't take Nick up on the offer to go to the soccer game in Norco, I mean, my kid was sick and he was in the ER Wednesday night, but I kind of had a little to do with it, unfortunately, because, man, he was sick with the croup and a bad cough, but then we got some medication from CVS that was prescribed by the doctor, and it was a pill. So he's 6 years old. He's never actually taken a pill before. He's always doing like the drink medicine, the liquid. And so I forgot to explain to him that you have to just swallow the pill with water. So what does he go and do? Just natural instinct. He chews it and bites into it. The unfortunate part was this particular pill had a numbing agent. It was full of like a numbing agent liquid. So he bit into it and his throat was immediately on fire. Just had no idea what to do. Totally stressed him out, made the cold that much worse. And that's when we had to take him to the ER. So it was my 1-star parenting moment of the week. Fortunately, now he's better and back in school and everything. But Man, it was rough, dude. His throat was totally on fire just because I forgot to tell him to swallow the pill whole, and instead he just chewed it. So
Don't blame yourself, Rip.
Yeah.
You could only lead the horse to water, bro. At some point, you know what? I've been my whole life. You know, maybe your second is Rip. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Maybe if he wants, you can call me. We can discuss it because I can't suck on hard candies, bro. For the life of me, there's a gun to my head.
You chew them. Right?
I'm biting it.
Yeah, you're biting it. You're biting into the
even
hard
when
candy.
I try, even when it's my last one, and I want to make sure that I have enough to savor it, I bite it.
It's probably like instinct, but we're as adults, we're so used to swallowing capsules and whatever pills we take and not chewing them. But you never stop to think that a kid doesn't have that instinct. So
I'm glad you brought that up because Lucy's 7 and she hasn't had to take any pills yet, and this is gonna for sure be on my mind the first time she has to take a pill. But definitely, bro, like DK said, don't blame yourself, Rip. Dude, you're a great dad. Let's blame CVS, right? Like, didn't that pharmacy tech say, this is for a child, make sure
give them the warning.
That's the other part of it is I rejected the consultation. They give you the prescription. They said you want a consult, and I said no.
1 star.
So my wife is on
Only
me for
1
every
star.
time we're getting something for the kid. Like, man, maybe he wouldn't have said that. Maybe the pharmacist wouldn't have said that, but it's just one of those things that happen, and fortunately he's all right. So
Rip, I know you're a successful working man and you got the nice health nannies. 1 star, looking back now, Monday morning quarterback, 1 star moment to pull the trig on the emergency room visit. I noticed some parents do, some parents don't, on that next step. Monday morning quarterback, you still pull the trigger on that?
We do, because urgent care closes at 9 around here, and it was after 9. So it's like the only option you have at that point is the ER. The 5-star advice I have for people is unless it's a dire emergency, which, I mean, it's a thin line, right? But last time we called an ambulance to transport him to the hospital, it ended up costing us like $4,000, even with insurance. This time we just drove him ourselves. It's a 10-minute ride, and you avoid that huge charge. Emergency rooms are still expensive, but without the ambulance ride, it cuts your cost down. So that's my value tip. I mean, it's a weird thing to talk about because it's like in a true emergency, you're going to call the ambulance probably, but if you have to kind of gauge it, on a scale of 1 to 10.
It's a personality trait thing too, man. I'll tell you, my wife ain't afraid to pop over to the Minute Clinic. Fucking anything. There's like a little bit of something on her knee. She's over in the Minute Clinic. Like
bug bite. You should go bug bites.
Literally, my liver, my inner intestine needs to be hanging out before I'm going. And
dude, that's a guy-girl thing. That's definitely a male-female thing. Girls will do. You're right. Small scraps are gonna go check it out.
The guys that like, I'm always thinking about the cost, right? But then at some point it goes out the window when you're thinking about your kids, health. And
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. No, I noticed you're pretty quick there, but I actually think that's the right move. And you live in like a major metropolitan area with great resources. Like, shame on you for not using them because we're trying to watch the, dang it, I can't even remember the Monday night game there. Which leads me to my 1-star moment of my week. I very rarely have cash anymore. I don't know if that's a normal thing. You guys carry cash around?
Hardly ever. Ever.
Rarely.
Okay, so it's not just a island thing. Okay, but there's a handful of things pretty consistently that I do need little hitters of cash at. Nick, be the golf course, the pizza.
I keep a little wallet with a couple 5s and some 1s in my golf bag.
On the golf bag, yeah, 5-star advice. Nick B, that's a wealthy man's move right there.
Actually, let me just chime in to say the Grand Canyon University golf course here in Phoenix has the smartest idea, bro. When you finish playing golf, they've got these young college hotties that come over and scrub your clubs instead of just like some smelly dudes. Like, it's such a good idea, right?
They're working off tips. They're probably making like $40 an hour doing that.
Well, there's your clip for the week. Rip, and we respect too. They can have males as well doing that too. Depends on what club you're at.
Hey, he said young college hotties. He didn't say what gender.
He did it. There's your clip of the week. I think that's very smart. I thought, shit, man, why don't you just put up a little poster, one-timer, with your Venmo thing I can.
Oh, I saw that actually. There's a guy that there's a dude that actually at the Legacy where my brother works and where I'm a member at. The guy it was even smarter than that, dude. He had a shirt with a little patch on it that had his QR code straight to his Venmo.
That means you can get it anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it anywhere. Hit me anywhere. I'll be out walking the streets and open the door for somebody, and then I'll just show it to them. Like, when they turn the iPad on you and they watch you.
Tattoo it on your arm.
Dude, that's genius. Actually, I'm gonna make a commitment right now. If I ever somebody's gonna hunt me down now if I say this, but if I see somebody that has any sort of piece of clothing that has a QR code directly to their either PayPal or Venmo, I'm hitting them with $20 instantly.
You're gonna hit them.
Damn.
I have
I'm
seen
hitting
it. I've seen it at stadiums and arenas where people have held out signs. Game day in particular, I remember a story where somebody made like $13,000, helped me with college or whatever, and had their code, and you could scan it on TV. But that is $1 million idea, bro. I think shirts is great. Haven't seen a lot of that. That's probably coming. We're giving free business. This is a business pod all of a sudden because Nick B comes on because he's Mr. Business here. How about the codes on God, that is a great idea to put
Wait, DK, so it sounds like, did you shortchange somebody this week? What was your 1-star moment?
We lost track of my 1-star moment. Yeah, we're sorry, we lost track.
I want to hear about the poor kid who didn't get a tip.
Yeah, so it happens. Sometimes some things require cash. Back to my 1-star. So I was doing my normal life trifecta of stuff: pizza, golf, haircut. No cash all 3 times this last 2 weeks. Guess what I tipped with, Nick B? You'll respect this because you're a businessman. You have a guess?
Kron.
Easy for Nick B. Passing out nugs, man. Big 1-star move. All good and well. One pizza guy decided to take a pass, which a bit odd, but I had 1 pass.
That is extremely odd.
No thanks from a pizza guy. Really big high five from the 2 golf dudes down at my home course here at Kapalua. And why not, Nick B? Can I trade nugs for service? Is that respected? 1-star, 5-star?
5-star, bro. And I kind of got off the tip of trying to turn my last name, which is Barton, Barten. I was going to try to convert that into, the word barter is really close. I was going to try to coin the phrase Barton is trading cannabis for either goods or services. And actually on that note, DK, last time I got my haircut, the conversation came up about what I do. And I had to go through the whole, I've been in insurance, but now I'm transitioning into cannabis insurance only. And the girl said, "Oh, that's interesting, blah, blah, blah." And I said, "Do you have any clients that tip you in cannabis?" And she was like, "Actually, I do, because they know I'm a big stoner, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Next time I'm getting my haircut, I'm going to bring you a tip." So I'm right there with you, DK. Yeah.
Wow.
The game didn't change. Rip's working on, and this is going to lead to the next segment, Nick B. This is professional podcasting here for you. I know you got money, but you don't got professional podcasting skills yet.
Or microphone skills.
Rip. Calvin Johnson, man. Rip. Calvin Johnson, he's due some respect. The Lions need to put some respect.
Megatron,
right? Yeah.
Really need to start take care of probably their best player of all times. No disrespect to Barry Sanders, but he has a weed company and he's coming on our show pretty soon. But more importantly, his team's sending out samples to Mr. Rip. So Nick, I'm encouraging Rip to give it a trial run. We'll see. Not a big weed guy. Rip.
No. I mean, it's not for everybody, but I also wouldn't necessarily even suggest that Rip use it, because I think that one of the biggest benefits is it helps you cut down your consumption of alcohol. It helps you with other vices, right? So Rip's kind of got his health game on point, so it doesn't really need to.
I'll do anything for the pod. I'm definitely going to try it.
Okay, just like you, Nick B. He's down for the pod.
I love it.
But also we do get rejected a lot being down for the pod, and mostly it's Big Rip taking the smacks to the face, bang bang. But how do we fare this week, Rip? Who rejected us this week to be on the pod?
Yeah, so we've been talking about the last few weeks. I mean, the volume of requests we're sending out is pretty high because we have probably like a 1% success rate booking guests. But sending out 1 million emails, we get about 10 guests. But so yeah, just a few of the names we've been rejected by in the last 7 days to come on 1-star recruits. Don Cheadle, famous actor Don Cheadle. Chris Mullen of Run TMC. Chris Mullen, the great Warriors, now a Warriors broadcaster, took a pass on 1-star recruits. And Dan Marino, the Miami Dolphins' great quarterback, rejected us. But, as always, we'll possibly get these people in the future. But for now, they joined the long list of celebrities and 5-stars who have rejected the 1-stars. But DK and Nick B, we got some good news next week. We're coming back. We got multiple guests lined up for the rest of October and November. So we're back, baby, next week.
Man, I hope I could just make the cut, dude, because hopefully we don't get some bad feedback on this one, and then I have to bounce before a good guest. But whatever.
Nick B, we're trying to filter you in. You know what? Obviously, the listeners know when we swing and miss on guests. You're the first call up coming out of the bullpen. What's your song when you come out of the bullpen? When you coming out to?
I'm coming out to "Eye of the Tiger," bro. Bring back the old original.
Ooh,
You're gonna bring the original out. You're gonna run fast. Or you're gonna walk slow.
First of all, I don't even run fast ever. No matter how hard I try, bro. I am a slow dude. I'm a goalkeeper, bro. I had to run sprints, dude, but I was so slow. So no, I'm slowly strutting out there with a little bit of a pimp limp.
Yeah, he's strutting out there. Nick B was a goalkeeper, Rip. I'll let you know. And a little bit of thing I know about Nick B, he was a goalkeeper. This man did also tear his ACL goalkeeping. So not a lot of movement in the goalkeeping box. So very difficult to do that. Very rare injury. Nick B did do that once. So
that is pretty embarrassing considering it was a leg injury for a goal.
It makes you a real athlete, though. An ACL tears a rite of passage a little bit at this stage in the game, I think. Rip, you ever had an ACL tear?
Never. No, I'm probably not athletic enough to even have that happen. I'm a 1-star, baby. We get like sprained ankles and
no. At this age, it happens. You try dunking on one mini rim at a 6-year-old's birthday, and you go up the wrong way. You never know, Rip. So knock on some wood, bro. Definitely take a knocker. It's tough getting old. Ask Aaron Rodgers. Ask Tom Brady. Tom Brady lost a good amount of money from my crew over at Trash Talk Boys in our weekly parlay we had going. We had a nice little snowball effect going, and I took all 11 points against Carolina Panthers. I know, Rip, that you actually kind of were on the Carolina Panthers a little bit, bro. You surprised by all this? Is any of this NFL, I don't know, reseeding, out with the old, in with the new? You see it coming, or is this just 1 week? We're overreacting.
I think it's probably a little bit of both, actually. I mean, I don't think, the Bucks or Packers are going to win the Super Bowl this year, but they're also not going to like lose the rest of their games. They'll probably be like fringe playoff teams at this point. I mean, the other thing is Tampa's defense was supposed to be dominant, and they haven't really stepped up. They lost to the Panthers, but you can throw Matt Ryan onto your list. I think 37 years old, lost his job this week for basically, I think, a rookie or a second year guy. So yeah, I mean, it's maybe it is a little bit out with the old and with the new. We certainly got the young guys really dominating right now.
I was going to say, I'll tell you what I'm not happy about is Christian McCaffrey going to the Niners, man. As a Cardinals fan, bro, that is not going to be good for us.
He looked pretty good. He looked pretty good in the limited plays he did get in San Francisco this week. He does. He landed in the right spot. The universe does what it does sometimes for some of these players. I'm happy though with the Cardinals right now with just average, Rip. I'm happy with just average. Let's move this thing along and see. It's kind of like my fantasy football team. I don't want to peak early. I don't even want to take on too many wins early. Let's just keep it going so I can get up in there. Maybe a couple injuries. I was happy to see Hopkins come back, and he's definitely a big part of that offense, which was cool. I was wondering if he was going to be a big part or a small part. Rip, any Thursday night game, any Cardinals feelings, or are you just going to let them be this week?
I mean, everyone knows I'm on record basically every week this year going 6-11 for the Cards, and right now they're sitting at 3-4, so they're a little bit above my expectations. But we got at Minnesota this week, which I expect an LDK and Nick B in Minnesota, and I'm still rolling with the 6-11, unfortunately. But it was a little more exciting to see those interceptions and the pick six, but you don't get to play Andy Dalton every week, man. That's why last week was good.
That is a good point. I do have to want to say that the way that the Cards fell, pun intended, on DeAndre Hopkins coming back was actually ideal, because my thinking was, as Hollywood Brown was really killing it for us, I'm thinking this is going to be a problem when he comes back. But sure enough, unfortunately, you never want to have an injury happen. But the fact that he was injured the game that D-Hop came back, I think was a benefit, because there was no turmoil. There's no arguments. Obviously, we want Hollywood back as soon as possible. That dude is a beast. But so I think that was a nice little transition to get D-Hop back out there.
And I think no one's been talking about it, but I think they miss Christian Kirk more than people thought. I mean, they're not going to pay $80 million to keep him, but that guy he was always that downfield threat, and he had those long touchdowns, and they're missing a little bit of that this year, and he's doing well over in Jacksonville. So, former 1-star guest Christian Kirk, and I think the Cardinals do miss him.
Yeah, completely agree.
NFC, the West is up for grabs, so that's kind of cool too. That it's not somebody's locked up. We didn't expect the Rams to suck. Niners are what they are. Anyway, we'll see. Good NFL run. Phoenix Suns country. NBA has been really good. I haven't been watching as much as I usually would find myself, Rip, watching in early seasons, but I've been enjoying quite a bit my Sacramento Kings, man. Somehow I manifest them and they show up right in front of my television screen, bro. I watch them play the Clippers, watch them take an L to the Warriors. My rec of the week is not this, but YouTube TV is so good at the regional NBA packages. You get a shitload of games, man. It's unbelievable. So I'm going to hanker down a little bit more this week and tune into some NBA. Is there anything that's jumped out that I should be aware of?
I mean, I think they lost last night, but Utah started out 3-0. Utah started out 3-0, and I think one of the big surprises too is Portland's, I believe the only undefeated team left in the league, the Trailblazers. I mean, maybe that like CJ McCollum trade last year and Anthony Simons kind of coming into his own and becoming a star, like maybe that was the thing they needed next to Lillard, because I mean, it could be overreacting after a week, but the Trailblazers had the best record in the NBA. You think that keeps up, or is that just a first week thing?
I'm really rooting for it. I've slept on them, and I slept on Simons, and there's their rookie that they got who was kind of injured a little bit. His name's eluding me right now, but they have some interesting pieces that might be in that play-in game, that 10th spot. We'll see, bro. Dude, can I ask? I'm gonna go live on air with this. Fuck it. What do we think about Nick B's our golf guy? What's your handicap, Nick B?
5, but with the back injury, I haven't played in probably 3 months. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with this 5.
Don't do that.
5.5.
Just 5 with confidence. Let it be known to the world. Rip, I was thinking, and you say no. We'll do this right here on the pod. This is how people deal with rejection in life all the time. We got Nota Begay coming up this week. We're gonna do an interview with him. I'm excited. I would love to bring Nick B in just for a life experience to join us on this ride. You co-sign on that, or you want to wait till Nick B gets a little bit more how do you say it? Less green, huh?
Oh yeah, I mean, if Nick B wants to join, I'm all for it. He knows more about golf than either of us, and definitely me. So yeah, I mean, if Nick B, if you want to join, you're very.
What do you think, Nick B?
Bro, I'm flat out honored. Absolutely, man. I'm absolutely honored,
in.
dude. I'd love to talk to Nota Begay.
He's accepted a Nota Begay interview. We'll probably do it later in the month to play it for the audience, but just for the interview, I think it'd be cool to bring you in because I know you are such a golf lover, Nick B. And I think part of this podcast, Rip, that really makes me feel good is letting people in our circle participate when we can. I know you've been so good about helping other pods get guests on, and even just, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Rip, and tell me if I'm wrong here, did we get a council member from the Long Beach Council to hop on our Friends of the 903 pod, or did I just make that up?
No, it was the superintendent of the Long Beach School District, which is top 3 school district in the state of California. So she's, dealing with like 110,000. Yeah, she jumped on the 908 podcast, Shoot Your Shot. And they told us that was their dream guest. So I had to come through for him,
Yeah, so Rip's doing that. So we'll bring Nick B in on that one. I wanted, you just had a pretty cool experience in the state of Tennessee you did the golf with a caddy, something I've never done. Kind of makes me feel a little bit awkward. Just like, I don't know if I'm at the level of I don't want to embarrass myself in front of another human being. You're just adding another human being for me to embarrass myself in front of. Was it helpful and fun, Nick B? Do you 5-star recommendations for a caddy?
Absolutely, dude. It was so cool just because it just made you feel like you were on tour. You get to hit your shot and then just hand your club over to somebody and keep walking. And the coolest thing, bro,
back up. What course were you at? And first hole, swing with the driver, what happened to you?
Duffed it right into like the weeds right in front. Yeah. I don't know.
Did other people in your group hit a good one too? Because that's even the double worse when that one happened.
They did. Both of the other dudes did. Yeah. So it was super embarrassing, but I had the back problem. So they gave me a little bit of a pass. They were just happy that I was able to get out there. But yeah, dude, I got to play the Golf Club of Tennessee. And I also got to play this really, really beautiful course called Belle Mead. And my caddy, his name is Andres. The coolest thing is Andres. So I'm a 5.5 handicap. Mm-hmm. This dude's a +5. So people on the pod, so for the listeners that don't know, when your handicap's a 5, what that means is, on average, going out and playing a par 72 golf course, I'm going to shoot 5 over par. So pick a course, I'll go play it. If I play it 100 times, I'll average 5 over, right? So that's your handicap. A plus handicap, what that means is that you are consistently shooting under par. This guy is consistently shooting 5 under par everywhere that he goes and plays golf. So my jaw dropped when he told me that. I instantly felt inadequate, being that he was carrying my clubs, right? So, but here's the best part about it. He's got a friend who lives in Scottsdale, and she's like, his friend has been telling him, she keeps saying, you need to come out for the Waste Management Open and experience golf in Arizona. And so I said to him, I was like, bro, you definitely need to come out and try to hit that Monday qualifier. And he said, if I come out and play the Monday qualifier, I offered up, I said, dude, if you come out and play the Monday qualifier, I'd happily caddy for you. So fingers crossed, dude, throwing it out to the universe. I'm going to be caddying for Andres. He's going to make the cut and play in the Waste Management Open. Your boy's going to be a caddy.
Very one star. Nick
One
B
star
goes
to
out
5-star if that happens.
No, it's a double 1-star rip. Unfortunately, Nick B goes out to the Nashville Golf Course of America, plays around with a caddy. Nick B probably is wearing his Masters merch and doing all these things, and then ends up doing the reverse caddy. So Nick B is going to do the reverse caddy, but it is at the Waste Management Open if this happens. Did this dude help your golf? Well, your back's fucked up, so it doesn't even matter. I can't even ask you a legit golf question.
No, yeah. No, you can, because here's the deal. The caddies, in my opinion, aren't going to give you a super ton of knowledge about where to hit your golf shot on a tee or even in the fairway, because we all know it's really hard to hit your ball where you want anyway, right? But when it comes to reading the greens, having a caddy that knows the course is, I mean, it saves at least 5 strokes around for sure.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, the putting range, well, caddy life, man. I'll put it on the list for me. I'm into it. It does feel a little bit like I'm not deserving of that. And
well, since we're throwing out things on the pod in live time, I mean, I actually had this thought that, you know, we previously mentioned that we're going to do a best of 3 challenge, you and I, handicapped golf challenge, best of 3, you and I. I'll throw out there that if you win the best 2 out of 3, I will caddy for you, big dog. And if I win, you got to caddy 18 holes for me. How does that sound?
I'm okay with that. We should just do that. You should just caddy for me anyway to help me get better at golf, because you're 5 and I'm a 25. So, bro, you should just be willing to mentor me. You could take me to Q school like Mighty Ducks Part Deuce.
Dude, not kidding. I think I might actually have a future career as a caddy. I think that I would be really
will be
good, and I will. I'll caddy.
Yeah, if you get your foot in the door at the Waste Management Open, I mean, you might turn some heads, Nick B.
That's what
might turn some heads. You know who would also be a great caddy if he took a little bit of time to learn the golf game is Rip. Top maybe 3 in the history of the Phoenician Resort valet of all time.
That's
similar skill set.
Dude, I did love hearing. I loved hearing those stories. It's probably been a couple seasons ago, but multiple pods ago, we got to hear about some of Rip's experiences as the
some late night Tiger Woods stories before his whole scandal. Yeah, maybe we can bring that up to his boy Noda on Thursday and ask him about that. But
recall that memory, yeah, for Noda, he might Rip. I love that. But yeah, same. So anyway, it's a little bit of golf talk, Nick B. I'm glad that you're out there living life. So just for the recap for the listeners, so Nick B, we were able to steal this man for 45 minutes for this 1-star podcast. But just if you're counting, that's Tennessee, Montana, California, and Arizona. So
unbelievable. We're lucky to get a half hour of your time these days.
Nick B, you're just sprinkling it all over. I know you got deals going in all those areas, and you're speaking at conferences. We just want to really encourage you to maybe invest in the podcast, man, if you come across an opportunity to take us to the next level, Nick B, because guess what? We know you're producing more content for your insurance company, and I know that you're getting more into the cannabis side of insurance, which is so fucking cool. Maybe me and you should just start trading everything in nugs moving forward and start the press.
Dude, I'm so in on that, dude. No, I appreciate you saying that, dude. It's funny that you guys make me sound like this, amazing businessman traveling the world, bro. I'm a 1-star, dude. I deserve to be on here because I am also a 1-star. And I look forward to this, dude. Like, if you guys give me the opportunity to come on, dude, I'll come on any and every time you give me the opportunity, because you guys are definitely in my top 5 of the pods that I listen to every week. And dude, yeah, I'm honored.
Well, respect, Nick B, and thank you for going to check out my food recommendations when you're in Costa Mesa. What was a 1-star thing that you ate on your road trip? Worst thing you ate? Go.
Gummies, bro. I straight up jumped into the life of DK and I went hard on Harry Bros for like 3 days. My wife is gone, so I ate chocolate, I ate gummy bears, just all the bad stuff, man. It was terrible. My farts were smelling so bad.
Rip, you and we did some emergency room runs, man. You do any cafeteria eating?
No, actually, I stayed home with the younger son, and my wife was at the ER for like 5 hours, I think, on Wednesday night. So, man, but I've definitely eaten some 1-star stuff this week. I had a Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich that used to hit like really hard, but man,
now they're a little weird. I know.
It's like the problem is it hasn't evolved. It stayed the same for like 10, 20 years, and it just.
And we grew up.
Yeah.
I used to be cool with that color. I thought it was unique and spicy. Now it's kind of weird and a little more chewy than I remember. Onward though, what else you go? So that's an old school one. You get the Frosty and drip the fries in, or no?
Oh, Frosties are 5-star always, man. They actually have strawberry right now too. So the strawberry Frosty is legit, like limited time only, man. That thing is money. Ooh. Strawberry, chocolate, and any flavor Frosty's good.
What about you, DK? What's your 1-star food experience of the week?
Super shitty this week. I mean, I think I got into some gummies myself at one point in time, but I did a good thing. So actually, the food providers at the Foodland did this very nice thing. They laid up all my Haribros and on all the trolleys and all the gummies. So you see them. And then they put up a nice wall of ginger chews with a bunch of options. And I switched over to ginger chews. So, I feel a little bit better about myself, but I don't know, man. It's the same. I feel like once you put any of that stuff inside of your belly, it looks in your belly just like it looked in your hand.
Yeah, probably sticks to all part of your intestines and everything else.
And I imagine my body going for it, like, hell yeah, we got some shit coming in. And then they're like, fuck, it's just 17 watermelon trolleys, and there's no value for your body at all in any of that. Anyway,
I think ginger has some value, doesn't it?
The
ginger root's good for
immunity possibly.
Yeah.
What it does is it takes away a lot more of the sugar. So I'm into that. So I made that good decision. So I'm gonna 5-star myself. Look at I did what Rip did. I took a 1-star to a 5-star.
There you go. I
know Nick B, over. You think on Nick B's road trip from Norco to Arizona, Rip, of fast food restaurants, 5 over.
Round trip, or like during the entire trip, or just from Norco to AZ?
Entire trip, about a 5-day trip for Nick.
I'll take that was like a 2-day trip, right? I'll take the under on 5.
Under 5, Nick B, under 5 fast food restaurants hit.
Yes, absolutely. Because when I'm in Cali, I don't want to go fast food. I want to eat stuff that I can't get here in AZ. So
there you go.
Oh, like a true baller, spoken like a true baller. Well, shit, listeners, we do our 1-star moments of the week. If there's anything in this world that made us smile a little bit, feel good, we felt like sharing with others, we like to share.
No. Wait. You said 1-star moments of the week. You mean recommendations of the week?
Oh, yeah. Keep that in.
Oh, man. See, you're talking about me being green, bro. Come on.
All right, listeners, 1-star moments of the week, where anything that happened this last week to us, we wanted to share with the world. We have a platform.
Hey, you said it again. 1-star moments of the week.
Rex
5-star recommendations of the week.
Rex of the week, bro.
Okay. Listeners, the 1-star Rex of the week, recommendations, anything that made us feel good that we want to share with the world. We do this at the end of every show. What do you recommend, Rip? What do you recommend that hit you this week?
Yeah, so last week I recommended the NBA League Pass free preview that was October 18th to 24th, ended on Monday. It was totally free, all the NBA games in the world. And this week I'm going to kind of piggyback off it because, as you know, if you want to watch any NBA game now out of your local vicinity, or that's not a national game, you got to pay now. But the recommendation of the week is to subscribe to League Pass for the year, because it was $230 last season and in the past. Now it's $99 a year. So everything in the world's going up in price. League Pass went down like 60%. So I can't not recommend that. It's a value. I'm actually going to get it for the first time. $99 for the entire season, NBA League Pass.
That's because you got a man cave now and you got your whole setup. So you are ready, Rip.
And it's a great deal. Value guy. Loves deals.
The universe has aligned for you, Rip. Is essentially what this means. This probably means the Suns are going to win a championship, most likely, in my mind.
Hey, let's hope so, man. If anything else, I get to watch your Sacramento Kings late night and probably go like 16 and 64. But hey, $99, man, it's worth it.
Yeah, put the kids to sleep, pop out there. I love it, man. Good, fucking great rec. What do you got going on, Nick B? Got any recommendations for the listeners? Or are you gonna blow our mind?
Yeah, well, dude, I kind of forgot. I forgot to have one prepared. But as you know, I recognized it when we started the pod, so I've been kind of just thinking. And my rec of the week is actually going to be it's going to have to do with airplane etiquette. So, and like the sneaky little loophole. And again, if this doesn't work for you, I'm sorry, but it's worked for me 3 times. Okay, so I do have to say that actually bringing the booze back on the airplanes, huge deal for me. Like flying without a drink is not cool. I like that elevation. I like to get a little buzz. And my drink on the airplane historically is just Bloody Marys. Like I love a Bloody Mary on the plane. So when COVID came and they did away with all alcohol, bro, I did not enjoy that. And then when I got back to first flight after COVID, they had the new revised menu where you hold up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with your fingers, and they completely got rid of the Bloody Mary. So I was bummed. But sorry to ramble on here on my record week, but so then first flight to Montana, sure enough, new drink menu again, Bloody Mary's back on there, and I'm pumped, right? But here's the rec of the week. When they go down the aisle to ask you for drinks, you do the fake sleep. You don't acknowledge anything. You just pretend like you're sleeping, let them go past your aisle. Then when they come back around to pick up the trash with a big smile. I mean, this is a big part of it. You have to have a really big smile and you have to look at the steward or stewardess right in the eyes. And you say, can I please have a Bloody Mary? 3 for 3, bros. They don't charge you. If you order it when they're getting everybody else's drink, they're going to charge you. If you wait till after, ask with a big smile, 3 free Bloody Marys, bro.
Wow, that's a value guy, Rick. We need every listener out there who has a flight coming up in the next 7 days. We need you to test this out. Is that on the same airline all 3 times?
No, it actually, coincidentally, I'm glad you brought that up. I flew American Airlines to Montana, Delta to California, and then United back. It worked on all 3. And actually, I do have to say that Delta, in my opinion, has the best Bloody Marys, which it's very easy. It's just Bloody Mary mixed with vodka, but they have different ones and they give you the full big can. So anyway, Delta wins on the Bloody Mary scale.
Did you leave a tip? Did you tip?
Yeah, no cash. Yeah, no cash.
Great opportunity for traveling to a cannabis legal state to tip with some nugs, but no cash, Nick B. Did you tip after the freebie?
I did. So one time I had a $5 bill that I put in like the little pocket in front. I was just going to leave it there because I feel like the girl knew that I got a free drink, right? So I was like, I'm going to hook her up $5. But then they came on the overcall and said, if you're continuing on to wherever. So then I was thinking, well, somebody else is going to jump on this flight and get the $5. So no, I didn't tip. But and no, I wasn't going to bring straight nugs on a plane. But I do have to say, and actually, I might have to have you edit this out, Rip. I'm not sure if I'm going to be crossing behavioral lines on what I should be saying publicly or not. But I did bring, so I brought, all I had was a backpack, which again, for me, I need to travel like this. My wife likes to have everything ready. I like to just grab it and go and get grimy. So, but I did bring along with me, I put a little medical marijuana card and some rolling papers. And I think I had 6 joints worth of flower cannabis, bro, right in my backpack, right through security, no problems. So It's legal, baby.
Oh, humble brag there for Nick B. When you're flying private, Nick B, you can do a lot of things that the rest of us can't do. Also,
I said Delta, United, American, and I was not even first class.
I know you just you just say that to make the listeners feel like you're doing that normally.
I've never flown first class, bro,
Nick B, possibly an idea to add to your business mecca, though. We've thought about it on the podcast and it's developed. I've let it marinate over the process of this half an hour here. I think we just solved a major. We've uncovered a major opportunity that we can get prepared to edit this out. This could be one of our better ideas I've ever had in my entire life. It is a problem that flight attendants don't get tipped. And you know what? They're always on strike. You know what they need, boys? VR code on their shirt.
Bro, you're so 100% right. My buddy Chad, his wife Lisa, works for Southwest. I'm gonna bring that up to her.
Hey, we got a guy in LA who makes shirts. We might be able to put this together for our big break, fellas.
You know what we should probably do is just here's what we're gonna do, bro. I will find out what her Venmo is. I'll steal it. We won't even tell her. We'll get her a shirt made. We'll just give it to her. We'll tell her to wear it, and then we'll see if she loses her job.
Experiment, 1-star experiment.
1-star. I knew that was gonna turn at some point.
We're gonna get the unions involved and everything else. The 1-stars are taking on the airline.
Difficult to add another cash generating revenue stream into the airline industry without a lot of sign-offs. However, that is a problem. What if you had a great service on the flight? You just leave. So solving problems.
Well, can I counter that by saying, and not to sound like a grumpy old curmudgeon, you love using that word curmudgeon, DK. I actually stole that from you from our 3 goals calls that we do all the time. You love to say curmudgeon, but everywhere is asking for tips for everything, and it's obnoxious, dude.
That's
I'm not
a whole
tipping 20%. Yeah, I think we guys actually talked about that.
That's the thing. It is.
Yeah, it's driving me nuts, bro. I'm not tipping 20% on to-go food.
But for the business side of it, you can either dig your foot in the sand or you can hop in the pool. And for me, it's like what they're doing it anyway. I'm a 15%er. Especially when I do food trucks or small businesses, it's hard for me to get looked dead in the eyes to a food truck and to hit none. It's just
same here. I have to go custom and I have to go $1 because I can't stiff them. I'm totally
custom $1. I know Rip does the quick none, man. He's got kids. Rip's got kids. Rip's not like Nick B flying to Montana to go fishing.
I think
Nick B's a 1%er. What's your rec of the week, DK?
Rec of the week. Oh my God, this show makes me feel so good. You guys ready? Feel good show that everybody needs to watch. Rip, you can involve your kids in it because it helps with travel. But this dude's so funny and it just all makes you feel good. Season 6, Netflix. Somebody feed Phil. Sit down, watch yourself. There's 6 seasons. He's basically Anthony Bourdain, except for like a really funny, gentle Jewish dude. He's the guy who wrote Everybody Loves Raymond. And it's this dude, Philip Rosenthal, and he rolls around. He does nice things with interesting people in all over the world and eats all kinds of food. So if you're sick at home or chilling and want something to watch with the kids and yourself, somebody feed Phil. Seymour, I know you're coming out to the islands pretty soon. You want to do a little download on the iPad so you have some fresh goods. Go ahead and get a couple episodes of Somebody Feed Phil. It's a feel good show. You guys gonna check it out?
That's a great rec.
Netflix rec every week, man, back to back.
I am gonna check it out, and I like the fact that there's multiple seasons because we're kind of looking for a show that we can binge again. We're watching the old House of Dragons every week. It's gotten a little kind of weird with the incest stuff, but whatever. Yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to binge this one next time me and the wife
take a binge, Nick. The House of Dragons is good, except for that everybody is aging very differently. We'll save that for another podcast. The other thing, Nick B, I want you to dig in a little bit because I know you were rec simming. I did a little rec sim watching. Thank you for that rec. It is good. I still don't know. It still doesn't seem like I'm not sure how sincere this whole thing is, and it's not just a big Hulu ploy. We'll see how the Wrexham club and community is in 5 years.
I'm also very curious of that, dude, because I feel like Ryan Reynolds comes off as such an authentic individual that it's hard for me to think that this is a publicity stunt. I kind of feel like they wholeheartedly love the team and want to do well. So I'm right there with you, dude. I agree 100%. It's like, is it real or is it fake reality TV, right? I'm with you.
Yeah. No, it's a good rec, man. Good shit all over the place to do. Awesome recs from you fellas. Let me recap. Nick B's was fake sleep on the airplane to a great smile. Is there any words that you say to access?
Please. You gotta say please for sure.
Gotta say please, very important. Gotta say please, give them this. You have really good pearlies. We talked about that before, so that probably helps. And free Bloody Mary. I didn't eat Bloody Mary in a can. Not for me, man. I only do Bloody Marys if it comes at the restaurant where they do like a chicken tender, a piece of bacon, and a jalapeno popper on top of it.
I'm with you on that, bro. But my problem is the horseradish. So like I like the pre-mixed Bloody Mary mix because I do not like the ones with horseradish in it. So anyway, whatever. Keep going.
He doesn't like horseradish. You know, and Nick B told me a couple weeks ago too, Rip, he uncovered ramen noodles at the Costco. You wanted to eat those for
rec of the week next week.
Next week. But Nick B wanted to eat them only for dinner for 2 weeks straight because of the value, and his wife didn't allow him. So we'll talk about sodium intake next week. Give us 5 stars if you want to see Nick B coming back. The good news is we got a golf episode coming down the hatch in a couple weeks here on 1 star, but we're gonna mix in Nick B for the golf section. So we're gonna get him on the gay down the road. Nick B. So we'll pop you on when it deems fit. I love having you around. So really, as often as we can, we'll get you back. Rip, anything you're excited about this week you want to sign off on?
My fantasy football team. I don't have anything. Man.
What a life. 1 star. That is the big. And if anybody answers in life, that's what they're most excited about. Turn and walk away. Nick B. Give us something. Give us a moment of exuberance, Nick B.
Well, I'm in my insurance office here, bro. Do you want me to let off a little yell? Woo! I wonder what people are thinking.
There it is. 5 stars. Nick B, give us a full yell. We'll get 1 5-star if Nick B gets a full yell just to get his office fired up. Give us a Go Cardinals.
Go Cardinals!
Let's go. 5 stars. See you next week.
See you next week.